So I saw the new directorial debut from Bo Burnham called 8th Grade, and it was pretty great. For those of you not familiar with Bo Burnham, I'd highly recommend checking out his 2 comedy specials on Netflix. He started out making comedic songs on YouTube back in 2006, and since then he's accomplished quite a fucking lot for only being 27 years old. He currently holds the record to be the youngest comedian to have his own special on Comedy Central Presents, and that was from when he was only 18 years old. He's an incredibly talented and creative person, and I find myself keeping an eye out for anything he's involved in. 8th Grade is a simple but charming depiction of a young girl at the end of, you guessed it, 8th grade. There's plenty of filmmakers that attempt to depict the lives of children and teenagers but wind up failing miserably, but this is a movie that feels so incredibly genuine. The behaviors and appearances, the role that technology plays in the characters' lives. There's so many movies where they would take these aspects and either exaggerate or misrepresent them. There's so many filmmakers who have no fucking idea what kids are even like. But there's a lot about this movie that just feels real. Nothing feels really forced or beats you over the head. All the kids look like real kids instead of 20-year-olds. The conflicts are realistic and relatable. It's just abundantly clear that a lot of heart and soul went into this project, which is no surprise coming from Bo Burnham. The music in the film was also well done. The songs on their own were pretty good, but the way they were used really helped move the pacing forward. I was kind of surprised to see that Bo Burnham didn't write any of the songs. Who knows if they would have been better or worse, I'm just a little surprised that someone else wrote them. Now, despite the writing and acting being fantastic, not every single thing in this film is. My biggest issue would be the visual presentation. There wasn't really anything special going on in the cinematography department, that's for sure. The way this film was shot just looks really cheap and kind of unprofessional. And yeah, I get it, it's his first movie and it probably had a really small budget, but I never once felt that way about Shane Carruth's Upstream Color, a fantastic film that was made for only $50,000 and shot on a Panasonic Lumix GH2. In 8th Grade, there were quite a few shots where I just wished they'd use a different lens. I can't think of many films where I can say that the depth of field was legitimately distracting, and somehow 8th Grade was one of them. Now, obviously, I love Bo Burnham, and I can only hope that this improves with films he makes in the future. Perhaps next time, instead of hiring a cinematographer who's best known for live comedy shows, you'll hire someone more closely associated with actual movies. But yeah, you'll just have to see the movie to know what I'm talking about anyway, because film trailers are typically populated with the best-looking shots. The visuals were my biggest problem with this film, and the only other issue I had was essentially a personal preference thing. Shortly after what could be considered the film's climax, I felt as though it was about to end in a certain way, and I was like, holy crap, I wasn't expecting it to end like this. This is awesome. But then it kept going for another 10 or more minutes or so, and because of that, the way it ended was pretty much exactly how I would have expected before even watching the movie, whereas if it ended 10 minutes before, it would have been an ending that I would have really loved. Instead of being safe and unchallenging, it could have been subversive and interesting, and I want to make it clear that I didn't detract a point from my score because of this, but if it ended the way I was hoping it would have been worth giving it an extra point. Anyway, the issues that I have with this film don't count for all that much. It was funny, it was awkward, it was emotional, it was incredibly endearing. I am really impressed with what Bo Burnham directed. It's pretty fucking ballsy to be directing mostly young actors on your first feature. Overall, the movie turned out very well, and I would recommend it to pretty much everybody. And I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. It might be an 8 later, but I'm pretty sure it will stay a 7.